So today we're gonna go over 2 different ChatGPT alternatives that are currently free and just as powerful. So stay tuned and build along with us. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is talk about who they are and what they do. So we're gonna go over Bard, which is Google's version of AI that's being developed since 2017. I'm gonna show you how to sign up for it and some of the practical things it can do. It's pretty powerful and a really good solid competitor to ChatGPT. It's also currently free and being developed for personal use along with business use. They're giving us a limited amount of time that we can go in there and play, and it's a great resource that you can leverage and use. I'm actually actively using it for a few things right now, and I'm gonna show you what those things are. The second is going to be Anthropic and Claude, which is their variation of their AI. And I'm going to show you how powerful that one is and some alternatives and things you can do inside of there. Now, that one is also a very powerful one, and we're going to read about some of the cool things that it can do. And I'm also going to give it some test prompts and show you how to do it. But the first thing we're going to do is show you how you can access them and get you logged in so you can go ahead and try these free versions while they remain free and while they're experimenting. Let's go over to Bard first. So all you have to do to go to Bard is honestly just Google Bard. All right. So if I type in Bard and it literally says take Bard for a spin, Google's conversational AI, and try Bard AI experiment, you can come in here and try Bard. Now, you do need a Google account or your business account in order to sign up. And as soon as you do, it is literally that simple. Once you come in here, I'm just going to sign in with another address. So I went ahead and used a brand new email address so you can kind of see it. So if I go over to the right-hand side, I logged in and I logged into one of my Google business accounts. Now that I've logged in, I just hit try Bard and it says Bard is supported for this case. Now, it's really important. You need to make sure you enable it. Now, if you click on enable access to Bard, you could go in and it tells you exactly what you need to do. So it says, as an administrator, you can control who uses early access apps, and it tells you where to go. Users must be over the age of 18 in order to get access to them, and you can go into here. Now, if you're logged in to your business account, right, and I'm going to log into one of my business accounts, and I come in here, and as long as this is logged in, and I go to apps and additional Google for services, if I click directly in here, it makes me log into the actual business account. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And once I do that, it immediately goes in here. Once you're in here, if you just follow the workspace help, it tells you where to go to apps, additional services, click early access apps. I come over here and I'm going to be looking for early access apps. Come in here, turn that on. Turn on for everybody, and it can take up to 24 hours. So I might not be able to access it there, but this is how you normally do it. And then you can go through here and it tells you all the different ways to turn them on and off if you want to do it. But honestly, all I did is came in there, clicked that one button that it asked for additional support and went directly into it. Now I'm going to come back in here. Let me hit refresh. Hopefully it'll allow me to do it. Let's see. Try Bard. Great, it did. Go ahead and agree to all of this. I opt in. I always want to receive information from Google. And now I have access to Bard. Now, it just got an update and you can see what the updates are. Working incredibly hard for do this. Now you can upload images. You can read, Bard can read responses out loud. You can pin and recent threads. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do. Now, I'm going to give it a test prompt. Some of the prompts that I used to basically do inside of ChatGPT, I'm going to do it in here. So one is, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to read you what the prompt is. I'm going to put, you are a Facebook ads expert that creates ads for pest control companies. Write a Facebook pest control ad for easy pest control. Make sure to include emojis. Make the ad engaging. Make sure to give it a short and long form version of the ad. Avoid writing anything about rodents since they do not have that service, and focus on the offer, which is a free home inspection. Make sure to include who the target audience will be. Let's see what it comes up with. Now, I will say that ChatGPT is a little bit more creative. It will come up with a little bit more creative actions in that space. I gotta be honest, this is, again, not bad, except it doesn't go as long in form, but it's still pretty good. And you can add tonality and everything else like you would with anything else. And as you can see, it's got it. And it even tells you what the call to actions is. And it even gives you the target audience as I preferred. Now, is it as super creative as ChatGPT 4 when we put in there, when we got longer format? It's not, but it's definitely a great alternative as you're putting it in here. So this is one of the test prompts. Let's try another one. It's a coding Python platform. So here, let's do a new chat. All right. We're big on creating agents. And it says, you're a Python coding expert. Fix the following code and improve it. I just gave it a code. Now, it does know quite a significant amount of Python, and here's an improved code. And it tells you what it does. I imported the random module, which is needed to shuffle the deck of cards. I added the functional make deck, which creates a list of 52 cards. It immediately took what was actively available, and it started improving on it. So I got to say, this in Code Interpreter now in ChatGPT 4 are very competitive, just a really good alternative. But what's great is you now have the ability of doing this all also in here. Now let's keep going. I'm going to ask it to create a table, and I'm going to read this prompt. So let's do a new chat again. You are a marketing expert. You are trying to understand what are the best copywriting frameworks to use in different marketing channels. Create a table of marketing activity and match it to preferred framework along who teaches the framework or is known for it. So let's see what happens here. Again, have no idea what's going to transpire. Oh, but look at that. It talks about the framework. It goes into the guides. It immediately created a chart. Who teaches the actual framework? It tells you how to go about in doing this. Now, I will say that Palm E and Bard are a little bit more factual. They have a lot more facts associated with it, while ChatGPT is a little bit more on the creative side. Considering this is currently free and a great alternative, it is producing pretty quality content for now as we're going to go through it. The other thing that I want to keep in mind is that Bard will now be attached to all Google apps at some point in time over the next 2 months. So when you're creating presentations or you're creating a Google Doc, just know you're going to have the AI ability to do that, and it's going to be able to create all of that. There's also things you can do with images and everything else that I'm not going to get into because I just want to introduce them, make sure you can access them, and then go right into it. Now, let me give you one more, which I thought this was by far one of the best. Not that we're stockbrokers, but we said you are a stock market analyst, create a stock portfolio of the best dividend paying stocks to invest in. The reason why to invest in these stocks, and note how much you need to invest in each and what the percentage breakdown is. And it tells you the breakdown and the dividend yield and how it's calculated, and it gives you the symbols and it creates a stock plan. Now, I could tell you based on the limitations that ChatGPT had, it didn't create these because it only had up-to-date information. So I can come in here and question it. Are these stock picks current and up to date? What Bard doesn't have is it doesn't have the limitation of 2021, so it's able to pull information as it goes through, and it tells you the stocks I provided are current date of time of writing is July 16, 2023. Think about that. It is literally pulling information from Google, and you could see it from there. And it like, honestly, you can then come in here and Google it. You can make it shorter, longer. You can make it more casual, more professional, and you can even share and export this response out. Now you can go in here, check on the current news of these stocks. And you can do this with any marketing kind of fields. You can do this with anything that you're in, and it's very current to the news because again, it has the Google engine behind it, and you can go through. So look, if July 15, it talks about the earnings per share, all this other stuff. How crazy and great is that? So this is Google Bard. A lot of things you can do with it. Go in here and play with it. Again, read that update because now apparently you can put images in here. I don't know the image capabilities of it just yet, but understanding that this is something that's available to you that you can try out right now, by all means, go right after it. I think you'll really enjoy it. With that being said, now let's dive into Claude. You can literally type in Claude AI here on your search. Come in here, Claude, and I'm going to sign in with Google. Always just a better preferred way. I'm going to use one of my email addresses, and I'm going to give it a full name. This is going to be Nuno Tavares. What should I call you, Nuno? Yes, I'm 18 years of age, and I'm going to continue. And let's see what it does. Before you start, a few details. I may occasionally generate incorrect or misleading information, produce offensive or biased content. It is not intended to give professional advice, including legal, financial, and medical. Do not rely on Claude without doing your own research first. Let's give it the same exact test. Let's see how it does it. Everything really good to go. Use the bottom button if the particular response was unhelpful, and then you could always write with them. Now, I'm going to come over here. Notice that this also can add PDFs, text, and CSV along with some other files, and it gives you some ideas and things you can do here. It was literally that simple to sign up for it. It is completely free for now, but the cool thing about Claude is it can do up to 100,000 tokens, and for select companies you can actually collect your APIs, but I do believe you have to apply. We will be kind of applying to see whether or not we get it, but I believe you have to meet certain criteria. But for now, it's free and really cool to use while they're building their database. So let's give it the same questions, right? Let's see what it does when we give it the Facebook ads. And let's see what it's going to do. All right, a little bit more on the creative side. Very good in the sense. Let's see, is being home overrun by pests this summer? Don't let the bugs ruin your backyard or your backyard BBQs or creep around your kitchen. Easy Pest Control can help in any town. Homeowners like you to get rid of for good. Right now, we're offering a free home inspection. We can assess the pest problem, recommend the right treatment. Don't waste your money on DIY sprays. See, it has got way more creative than the Bard response, which I really, really like. And it gives me the ability to copy right here. And then let me see if now I can interact with it. Actually, did it give me the target audiences? So it didn't give me the target audience like I asked for. Who would be the target audience for this? Okay, and it's got like right here, people experience pest control, people like, all right, so it's DIY pest control, that's a good one, new homeowners. It's good that it's giving me all that, but it didn't address it like I first asked, so not bad, a little bit more on the creative side, liked what it wrote, and it kind of created its own numbers and everything else that I can copy and go from there, but it missed that whole entire piece, so we're gonna give it to that. Now, it says right here, click return to send, add a new line, and create a new chat. Oh, Control K, let's create a new chat. All right, so we're now back out. Let's go ahead and do the Python one. Let's see what kind of response it has. Key changes, use a list to define suites and ranks. So it actually improved rather than that. It gave it spades. Let's go back and kind of look at the code that Bard did. So it gives you that, the ability to do all that. Overall, more explicit, readable, and Pythonic by taking advantage of lists, list comparisons, and meaning variable names. Let me know if you have any other questions. Really, really good. Like the response so far. That's pretty good. So let's see if it can create a table. So I'm gonna do I believe it's Control K for a new chat. Control K. All right, let's try this one, which is you are the marketing expert. All right, it doesn't have the framework in which Bard gave me, but it looks like it's giving me a table regardless. Landing pages for your framework, John Webby. I wonder if it actually gave us the same response. Oh, let's go over here. Marketing expert, Ada frameworks helps grab attention, lead, urgency, landing pages, webinar, direct mail, sales letter, video ads. Eugene Swartz. Did we even include video ads in the other one? So this added video. It's interesting. So it definitely gives different perspectives. So that's really cool, but it works through everything else. I liked it. Thought it was a pretty good response. It definitely gets points for it. Obviously, the chart is it's obviously limited. They are starting new. Google, as you can tell, is a little bit more advanced, but not bad. Also pretty good. Again, free alternative. Didn't have to pay, and it seems like a pretty favorable response. Very, very cool. So let's hit Control K and let's do the last stock question. All right. So again, it's got pretty much the same. If I look at Bard's, you'll see same of the ones here. Gave a couple of different, obviously this is why you don't want to trust this to do your stocks, but it does give good reason, and it's going through, and notice there is some similarities between these right here and what it's providing. So it's giving some of the similar responses. So obviously this is very formulated in the way they're doing it. Let's see how current it is. Let's see if it reads off the good point when creating a stock portfolio. See, so it does some things here. Checking on each stock evaluations overall, while I mentioned the stocks are reasonable long-term generators, examining the specifics in light. So it feels like it's not as up to date, why Bard gave me a very explicit answer. So I think on the creativity side, Claude definitely is going to be more ChatGPT driven, and it's got some factual things to it, while Bard was very accurate with some information. It even quoted where it got the information from, which I think is pretty awesome. Now, that being said, this is just an introductory. I didn't want to go into all the full capabilities. Obviously, you can upload files and do all that. I think we're going to create like a video of a head-to-head between ChatGPT, Claude, and Bard, and whatever other ones that are out there. But just want to introduce you to some two free great alternatives for ChatGPT that you definitely should get into and start playing around with. And then just for different things, as you saw, I'm probably for the creative side, I'm going to use ChatGPT because I like the creativity there. It looks like Claude is going to be a great alternative. For the more information gathering and sourcing of that, I'm probably going to go to Bard. All three seem to do code really well, so I have my alternatives to choose from there. But for anybody that's looking for a free alternative, what a great source, huh? It's a great time to be alive in the AI world, so go out there and experiment with all three. Let me know your thoughts and